It's so cold that I have had to put my thermals underneath. It's so cold. I have thermals on and fuzzy socks because it's so cold. I've had this idea of a costume that I want to make for like ages now, and it's kind of inspired by these like fields not far from where I live, and I can just picture myself running in this costume. It's going to be a dress, and then I'm going to make a cloak that goes with the dress. The cloak, I know I want to be green because green is one of like my favorite colors, and then I think I'm gonna do the lining like a different kind of pattern or like a different kind of color, just to like, you know, spice it up, add like a little bit of interest to it. And then I think because the cloak's got like quite a lot going on, I think I'm going to keep the dress quite simple and just do like a cream or like a white kind of simple cotton. But it's going to look awesome, I think, if it turns out the way that I want it to. But yeah, I've already got a pattern for the dress. It's from Etsy. I'll put it below. And then the cloak, I'm just going to wing it, which is going to be interesting. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Oh, I just filmed loads and then it didn't record it. No. Here I go again. I got my fabrics. I got this beautiful like forest green velvet for the cloak, and I'm very excited. It feels beautiful. And then for the lining of the cloak, I got this patterned William Morrissey style, just like cotton fabric, and it's got like little birdies on and some strawberries, and if you know me, you know I love strawberries. And then for the dress, I just got some plain like cream cotton. I hope this is enough. I feel like it is gonna be enough, but we'll see. Because I was erring on the side of what is cheapest. So I didn't get extra in case, you know. We'll see. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's make a cloak. So to make the cloak, I opted to do a giant circle skirt, or rather a half circle skirt. With a quick Google search, I found some measurements and rolled with them because I am terrible at maths. Once I had cut out the main piece from both the lining and the outer shell, I laid them on top of each other and then folded over the edges from one shoulder all the way around the bottom hem all the way up to the other shoulder. I just folded it over like you would a normal hem, and then I both pinned and hand stitched this down to stop the fabric from shifting. It took forever, but it was so worth it. Once I finished that, I took it to my sewing machine and sewed from one shoulder all the way to the other shoulder, which also took forever. I forgot to film me doing the hood, so here's a cute little video of my dog instead. How adorable. So I finished with the cloak now, and it's so cool and I'm so happy with it. It turned out to be exactly what I wanted it to be. I can't stop like twirling in it and doing one of them in it. I suppose like a swoosh or like a flick or something. I don't know. I can't stop messing around in it because it's so cool. My last little job was to add this little clasp, and they're just like, it's like a little leaf clasp. I'll put a close up here, and it just opens and closes quite nicely. And I thought it kind of fit the vibe of the cloak being in like a green cloak, and then the lining piece having like the birds and strawberries and stuff. I just thought the leaves were very fitting. I literally just got it from Etsy. I should probably stop moving now because it keeps going out of focus. But anyway, I should also stop moving and take this cloak off and get on with the dress now, because it's time to make the dress. And then I can finally go running through the fields in it and live out my perfect fantasy. So to start the dress, I first had to mark out the darts. There was 4 darts on the outer shell, and then obviously 4 darts on the lining, which is 8 darts in total. 8 darts that I had to mark out, pin and stitch. 8 darts. Anyway, once I'd finished that, I tried on the bodice to check to see if it was fitting properly. I then repeated the process with the lining pieces. Next, I attached the sides and the back pieces to the front bodice, making sure to press and zigzag my seams. I don't have an overlocker or a serger, so I just use a zigzag stitch on my machine, and that seems to work perfectly fine for me. Then I decided to try it on again, and you can see my face
realise that it won't fit, which is great.
Okay, right, we have a problem. The front bit, it's fine, yeah, that's cool. But then you have all this like extra bit here. Hang on, let me get this strap out of the way. But then you have like all this extra bit, like that's the back strap. And there's like all that. So I think I need to take some off the back because that is like huge on the back.
I then went in and made some alterations which seemed to fix it. Then I had to make these adjustments to the lining as well.
So finished the lining. We have a lining piece and an outer piece now, which is cool. So now I just need to, hang on. Literally so, it's gonna be such a log thing, but like all the way down, around, and then down, like up and down, like all the straps, wrong sides together, and then flip that inside out.
Honestly, this took forever and so many pins, but it saved me from having to make straps and attaching them, so I guess I should be grateful.
Can't do the skirt bit yet because I need the rest of the skirt pattern and I need the fabric to cut out the skirt pattern. So I'm gonna get this done tonight and then probably won't be able to get the rest of it done until later in the week. Yay!
So I started pinning and sewing and sewing. This took forever. It took so long, so long. Anyway.
So I finished the bodice last night. I did film it when I finished it, but it was kind of dark and blurry, so tried it on again. It looks absolutely stunning. I'm obsessed with how it looks. I love it. I think it's gonna look so beautiful when it's done. I'm very excited. I did, when I was cutting out the actual pattern initially, I did run out of fabric. So I've had to order some more. And it came. So I can hopefully get the rest of the pattern cut out and maybe, this is a big maybe get it finished today. Big maybe though. Let's get the rest of it cut out. Should not have thrown that.
If I'm being honest, I did not get the skirt finished the next day. I instead got my hair cut and then went to the cinema. However, the next day, my boyfriend came around to help me film, and look how beautiful these shots are compared to my boring static camera angle. Anyway, for the skirt, I had 2 pieces at the sides that I had to gather and condense into this little tiny square. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah. So that was a lot of gathering to do, and the worst happened and my thread broke, and you can see in my face how my heart just breaks when the thread breaks. Anyway, once I had resewn the gathering stitch, I had to gather some more, lots of gathering, some more gathering. Then I had to attach the 2 side pieces to the main bit of the skirt. Then I stitched these pieces onto the main bit of the skirt. There was a lot to sew through, so it took a lot of time and concentration. And then my boyfriend left, and we returned to the static camera shot. Once I attached the side pieces, I moved on to attaching the skirt to the bodice and inserted a zip. Also, it's so cold in the UK right now, I had to put on my giant hoodie. Because it was just, I was freezing, just sat there in like a tiny little jumper and some jeans. Anyway, now it is time for the grand reveal. Drum roll, please.